champions are on a collision course. Each one comes in with his own legacy of dominance and determination. Terence "Bud" Crawford will enter the biggest fight of his life against the legendary Canelo Alvarez. In preparation for this fight, Crawford's training camp has turned into a warfare where he is asked to do more than just use his muscles. This is mental strength, this is mental focus. This is about being in the right mindset of a warrior. As the fight nears, he is honing not only his body, but his whole soul for the war to come.
What will you have to do to be your best version in order to get this victory?
I think just be myself and just don't get careless in the ring, and stay sharp all 12 rounds if it goes 12 rounds. I think that's the only thing that, I need to do, and make sure that in training that I sharpen up all my tools.
Most importantly, Crawford's camp has a calmness surrounding it that is stronger than words. He is focused, present, and engaged in the matter at hand. He is not smiling or talking much. That would be none other than the world-famous boxing legend Canelo. This is more than just another fight. It could solidify Crawford's legacy. This is the payoff of his labor, and he is training like he has to because he does. Pads and mitts are the locations in camp where Crawford works tactical execution with timing and speed. He practices live scenarios set by his coach, simulating movements that could be displayed by Canelo. Each combination has its intention. He is practicing his reflexes and openings. It's the laboratory where reflexes transform into a weapon and instinct becomes systems. Here he is finding a solution to every question posed by Canelo with speed, clarity, and punishment. Moreover, in the strength and conditioning period, Crawford isn't just developing muscle, he is developing tenacity. Every explosive, constant lift and all resistant sprints are based around constructing his core, legs, and lungs in preparation for championship rounds. It focuses on functional power, which is power that transfers into ring dominance and punching multiplication, not muscle. His coaches drive his body past fatigue by replicating fights with endurance circuits that reflect about tempo. When it gets deep in the fight, this development will be the leading factor in his being able to stay dangerous. As we again take a closer look at his training camp, the group is working closely together with one goal in mind: to help him outthink and outsmart Canelo in the ring on fight night. The team is looking at every little detail of Canelo's style to come up with a plan that plays towards Crawford's strengths. They are doing everything they can to prepare Crawford physically, but they are also working to prepare Crawford mentally so that he is composed, calm, and confident under pressure. They view this fight as a milestone opportunity, and they want him to be confident, smart, and relentless all at once. Ultimately, they want him to dominate the ring and take his legacy.
Canelo is. So, as a fighter, you mentally prepare for things like that. And then as a trainer, just making sure he's sharp. His mental game is sharp, his physical game is sharp. strength-wise, nutritionist, everything got to, like I said, hitting on all cylinders. So by the time you step in that ring, it's easy picking.
However, not everyone is sold on the belief that the weight is Crawford's Achilles heel. Class.
They have something called the incline in Colorado Springs. So just in case you don't know, Colorado Springs is about 6,000, a little bit more than 6,000 feet in the air, right? So it's above the altitude. I don't know where Vegas is. Vegas is around 1,000, I believe. So again, in case you don't know, you go up in the altitude, you multiply the blood cells. Then when you come down to what do they call this?
Sea level.
Sea level, or you come down to where normal people exist,
right.
You're able to recover quicker. So it's things like that where people have alluded to him being a snack athlete and things like that. Like, what could he possibly? No. He's just doing the right things, and he's always done the right thing. So
everything he saw with Crawford showed mental intensity, conditioning, and training precision with an athlete who looked ready to take on the challenge. Confidence is built through a multitude of factors, but seeing someone in person ready to put in the work sticks in your mind. Any endorsement like this just adds further intrigue to the matchup. If Porter is right, then the weight differential is probably not going to be the factor that many thought it would be.
Look at how thick the legs are, but also the muscle is still popping and things like that. It suggests to me that they're really strong, but then he's doing things like going up the incline. So you're already at 6,000 and some change. The incline is a mile up. So while you get to the top, you're at 11,000 feet in the air, 12,000 feet in the air. That's how he's able to pull off the kind of stuff that he's doing.
Training at extreme altitudes is not just about endurance, it is about mental toughness and honing every physical reaction. Porter's description illustrates the idea of a fighter training his body to the max in ways most opponents have never felt. That type of conditioning can be beneficial in a championship atmosphere where each breath is everything and every moment matters. It illustrates that Crawford is building more than raw strength. He is building a bank of energy and will. If that gets carried over into the ring, it could sway the pendulum when it gets most difficult. Sean Porter went on to share his own assessment of why this bout stands above the rest.
To me, the biggest thing, which is something that Crawford said, was, who else is there? There's nobody else at my level. And they're mirroring in that respect. Everybody wanted to see Canelo in the ring with
El Monstro.
With Benavidez, but respectfully, Benavidez does not have that
all-time standing.
Yeah, whereas Crawford does, and that's why we get this fight. Also, why I think we get a brilliant match.
He views it as more than just another big-name boxing bout. It is to exchange between two fighters who have legacies that are already respected. Porter's perspective adds to the notion that his bout is about more than just hype. It is about showcasing greatness versus greatness. It seems the stakes are higher because both fighters bring a reputation built upon their longevity at the pinnacle of the sport.
I'm going with Crawford.
Why is that?
I just feel like Crawford, he just has the grit, and like me personally meeting Crawford several times, it's like the man is just so competitive. It's like I don't even have to say nothing to him. He'll just like, man, when we sparring, it's like his competitiveness is always gonna put him over the edge, and then he just has that, like, I'm not gonna let you bully me, or his skill set.
Jones has personally observed that the innate drive toward competitiveness provides the energy to work through and bob and weave through every exchange. That is an advantage that can't be taught, only developed over the years by exposing yourself to fighting the best. That mentality, combined with extraordinary fighting ability, could nullify all physical shortcomings. Considering Crawford brings that mentality to the ring, could likely sway the bout in his favor when it may count the most. Omari Jones also described why Canelo could be in for a very different fight.
Be a little bit different for Canelo this time around because Crawford took the moving up in weight classes serious. He did the dieting, he did the training. So I feel like when you put in work like that, it's a win-win.
His belief was that Crawford's recognized commitment to the routine of moving up a weight division could result in sanctioned brilliance. Involving a structured meal plan, catered training, and inclusive preparation should erase almost every conventional deficit smaller fighters face. This is a representation that Crawford is not merely accepting his current fight, he is violently assaulting it. That level of commitment is usually very compatible with nighttime brilliance if it comes together. If it does fall together, Canelo may have a night that is more difficult than he is anticipating.
No, it looked like he put it on the right way. You know, the nutrition, the you know, like I said, the training. You know, Crawford, he trains hard, so I feel like, I know they say he probably went up to like 185, so he has to lose that weight. But I think if he did it the right way, which I know he did, he'll be successful in September.
He considers it an intentional path predicated on smart nutrition and dedicated training. While Jones has mass contribution, Jones describes it as building functional strength without compromising speed or endurance. That preparation could be a delta difference between competing and performing at a heightened level. It indicates that ahead of September, Crawford is not taking it granted. Hopefully, if the plan is effective, it might enable him to exhibit Canelo's power while retaining his advantages. Chris Algieri then explains why Crawford's size and speed balance could be crucial in this fight.
Crawford was cutting weight. Crawford looked big at 47. I think that was his last fight at 47 for a good reason. He was not like just the smaller guy. Like they were pretty much the same size at that point, even though everyone always thought that Spence was a much bigger guy, and he always was. Crawford grew into a real welterweight, but he doesn't have time to grow into a real super middle, and I don't think he should, because I think he should maintain some of that speed rather than size. But I don't know. We'll see. Again, Crawford is something special, dude. I swear, he's like an alien. The way he's able to maneuver and make his body work for himself the way he has.
He has confidence that Crawford's strength at welterweight proved that he could develop a larger frame without losing his traits. But moving up to super middleweight is in a different category, where it requires smart decisions about the balance between power and speed. Algieri's point is that maximizing speed is of greater value than packing a larger version, and going against someone like Canelo, speed might provide critical moments of opportunity that change the fight.
Kind of similar to what Canelo said last year. It's a lose-lose for him. I mean, with a win, it's like everyone's just gonna say, yeah, duh, you're supposed to beat him. But actually, context matters. How he wins is gonna matter. If he struggles to get by and wins the decision, I think it's going to hurt Canelo. If he goes out there and he knocks him out, it's going to be like, yeah, all right, cool. You knocked that guy 3 weight classes below you. You're supposed to.
He stresses that public perception could overshadow the victory, regardless of the outcome. A decision win might present doubt as to if the result was justified, while a knockout could be found discredited due to the difference in sizes. It creates a situation in which you are not only having to dominate, but you have to dominate effectively. This is why Canelo's path through each round will equally be as impactful as the result. All of the moments on fight night will dictate how this fight will be remembered. Chris Algieri then elaborated on the magnitude of Crawford's winning historical context.
Crawford wins. I mean, forget it. We're talking. Now we're entering the all-time great status. We're talking about pound for pound, based on everything he's done so far, which has been a ridiculous amount of things. The undisputed in multiple weight classes. You know, all the weight classes that he's won titles. Just jumping over middleweight to grab the undisputed at 68. It's nuts. It like even saying it out loud sounds crazy to me, but the guy might do it. That's the crazy thing about it.
He believes that would be enough of an achievement to immediately place Crawford among boxing's all-time greats, being undisputed in 2 different weight classes, while bypassing an entire weight class to win undisputed at 168 has no historical precedence in modern boxing. It would be a display of pure skill, heart, and ambition that few fighters in the entire timeline of fighters can claim.
And if he loses, I don't really think it affects his legacy all that much. All the accomplishments that he already has, Crawford, those are not going to be forgotten. He's jumping up 2 weight classes, so I take it as a win-win, loss-loss situation for these guys. Win-win for Crawford and lose for Canelo.
For Crawford, moving up 2 weight classes poses a stiffer challenge without the normal risk to legacy until after the fight happens. A loss wouldn't invalidate his esteemed career, but a win could very much turn him into a very rarefied heir. Canelo has the expectations for what a win can bring, and victory might get him little feedback, but losing could be quite damaging. This creates a different, interesting, layered contrast to each fighter's life experience in getting to this event. On the night of the fight, determining the outcome will be not just about who wins or loses, but how history will remember either man's career post-fight. This is not a fight just about belts, badges of honor, or talking bragging rights after the fight. It's more important than that. It's about legacy. For Crawford, earning the right to be considered a two-time, two-weight class champion without any questions asked will make his victory a historic victory for him. At the same time, for Canelo, winning will only stave off the immediate concerns of losing being anything to write home about to winning being an afterthought. The more egregious obstacle will be winning to frame an exclamation against doubt. There is an entirely different fighter with experience, relentless power, and football smarts for Canelo to rely on, and he won't be an easy problem to solve. This fight may very well boil down to adaptability under immense pressure, and who can solve the problem faster? What do you think? Do you believe Crawford's speed and style can overcome Canelo's size and power? Does Canelo's experience at the higher weight give him the advantage he needs? If Crawford wins, will it mean he is immediately in the conversation of greatest fighters of all time? And if Canelo loses, does it hurt his legacy at all? Let us know your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more breakdowns, predictions, and fight analysis.